players also have to suffer through, wait, what item is that again? If they're clicking through inventory.
That's part of the difficulty of playing Midas mode. You need to have a big brain.
Oh, it's tough.
You know, you guys would like share the really nice ones that you made in the group chat. I'm like, man, these all look beautiful. And I remember a meeting from like 2 months ago where you're like, we're going to try to keep the items pretty close to accurate.
They're pretty close. They're pretty
And
close.
there's a big difference between my impressions 2 months ago and today. When I'm looking at Wraith bands.
I mean, 90% of them are just people's faces pasted on the item.
Yeah,
In a
what
nice
that's what it
artistic
seems
way.
like.
They're well made.
That's what I was doing. I mean, your face is in the game like 3 times.
That was a mistake. That was actually me submitting as a test, and we just kept it in.
10 seconds.
You
Wow.
Suns fanned your way into Midas mode,
A
dude? What the
likely
hell?
story.
Wait till you see
Seconds
Aghanim Scepter
remaining.
tomorrow, Trent.
So, gentlemen, you were correct. Both Bat Rider and Chen were supposed to be
Reserve
bans,
time.
just like we saw in game number 1. Those community
Dire
bans have been
team
replicated once again. And a first pick Dazzle Alliance.
Wow.
Look at these smart gentlemen.
How's Dazzle these days, Iori? That's your hero.
He's pretty underloved. I still think he has a place. He doesn't feel weak, but I don't think teams are really playing. He's not like a tier 1 support go-to pick right now.
I don't even think he's an incredible support myself, just because like laning-wise he's okay, but like his base cooldowns had to be increased to compensate for his
5
ultimate.
Yeah,
seconds
So like
exactly.
as a support, he's actually worse in lane now than he was before. And then once you get 6, it's like, okay, I've got low cooldown, but I still don't have a stun. I still
Or
can't
enough
get
mana
very
to
well.
support stuff.
And then you have to buy items.
Yeah.
That
Is there any core Dazzle in your heart? Purge?
Core Dazzle is potentially viable. They played at TI, for example.
Mm-hmm.
VP picked it one game. They went
Yep.
core mid Dazzle. I think core Dazzle is better than support Dazzle right now, unless you can force your opponents to fight
10
into you and you can
seconds
then abuse
remaining.
Grave, that kind of thing.
I've seen a lot of streamers trying to make the offlane
5
dazzle work, but they're
seconds
all struggling a
remaining.
little bit with it. So like it's almost there, but
Offlane
it's not
dazzle?
quite right. Yeah, like trying to use
Yeah.
like the Necro one and then build it
Reserve
into
time.
more.
He has a really weird tempo. It feels good when you play him mid and you win that matchup and you have this window in the early mid game
Yeah.
when you can just dominate the map, but it doesn't last long. So you need to close out. Some big spends from the stunners.
Yeah.
Tiny picked up.
That's got to be
Which-
Bambo, right?
Yeah, it's like his signature hero, basically. He's played it for a very long time. Bat Rider is another hero he's very comfortable with.
Could we sort by
10
price?
seconds
Well, how
remaining.
relative was Tiny? in
Tiny
terms
is
of price?
number 1 in price. Before
That's
the
what I was
tournament started.
wondering.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
Most expensive hero in the game.
Hey, they saved money last time and they lost.
Yep,
so
he was
time to
number
spend
1.
it.
Yes.
And
Now,
ET is number 2
Reserve
at
time.
326.
Now, with where they're at in terms of their bank, nobody's completed any bounties, but keep in mind that we refunded their creep takeover, which is 200 moonbucks each. So if the stunners hadn't gotten refunded, they would have been sub 1,000. They would have been negative from last match, and they spent pretty safely. So they're getting it really far behind this one, almost for sure, because they bought Tiny.
They got to win. They really need to win if they're
And
behind the
of
time.
course, one aspect about Midas mode that makes the strategy even weirder is that having
Dire
extra
team
moonbucks doesn't do anything for you except for tiebreakers.
Yes.
At the end of the day, you still have to win the games. It's still a bracket. So, you know, if you win or if you lose but save all your moonbucks, you have
Well,
nothing to
you
show
can buy
for it.
Super Roche every game. I mean, that's pretty sick, right? That's a giant
No,
advantage.
yeah,
every
I just mean like winning is what matters.
Right.
So there's no incentive to pull moonbucks unless you think you'll be stuck in a
10
tiebreak.
And it might seem like they're overspending. It's like, what, it's the second game of the group stage, but there's, what, 4 teams per
5
region?
seconds
So,
remaining.
like, it's pretty quick that you can become, like, the third or
Radiant
fourth place
team
team. If you
ban.
don't get enough wins, if you don't win your series, you're just done,
Yeah,
basically.
and 4th place in groups is eliminated. We didn't really
Yeah.
talk about the format that well, but it's 4 teams in each group. It's just a round robin, not that many games. First team goes straight to the finals. Second and third play for a decider. 4th is out. So you really need to do
Dire
not
team
last in
ban.
the groups.
when you lose the decider, are you also out?
Yes.
Okay. Winning, good.
Win good.
Winning
Lose
is-
bad.
Is
Yes.
this ban on PL just because of Tombstone? Does it still work that way where you just take
Yeah.
it super fast? But who picks PL?
And he can dispel the poison.
Would people pick PL
So if it's
to
like a
counter
core dazzle?
dying, though? That's the question.
10 seconds
PL is
remaining.
situationally okay. There's, like, some games that are, like, good PL games.
Gord
was
plays
picked-
it too.
Yeah, and he was picked to TI a little bit. Sometimes bad, sometimes fine. Infamous one with him once or
Reserve
twice group
time.
stage. So, like, PL obviously could use some buffs, but there's always going to be a little bit of a
Radiant
place for him.
team ban.
I know Disruptor wasn't picked that much at TI, which is part of his price point, but he looks like value to me. I'm still kind of a Disruptor fan
He's got a
in
nice
some
buff.
scenarios.
Quality of life with the
14 gold.
ulti.
Yeah, it's pretty good. 14 gold isn't much.
14 moonbucks.
He's got issues
Yes. Never forget the branding.
though. Yeah. Get those moon
Well,
buffs in
it's
there.
just confusing because gold is a
10
currency
seconds
also. So
remaining.
Yeah.
That's true.
And we use the gold logo for their moon bucks, which doesn't really help.
I am actually so
Not enough
glad.
time to make that.
I am so glad that teams are actually banning though. Last Midas mode, I don't know if you guys watched. Nobody banned, which I thought was kind of expected, but I expected some bans.
Yeah.
Nobody would ban, and they ran them.
Yeah.
This is actually
We
real.
lowered
It
the
feels
price
good.
significantly. It used to be half the price of a hero to
Was it?
ban. I believe
it was.
was.
I think so.
Oh,
I'm pretty
God.
sure that's why no one banned. It really wasn't worth it.
Yeah. quarter seems pretty reasonable, especially for like Chen and Barrett or stuff like that. It also helps that the community bans some things,
Reserve
Yeah.
so they don't have to
time.
waste as much gold in the first phase. I think that's a good solution.
Well, all the Bulldog heroes are out now.
That's true. Although the last game they banned them, even though he already had picked Bristleback in his
Dire
first
team
phase,
pick.
so that's
So they got the Bristle or the Beast again
Beastmaster.
too.
I like this Alliance squad so far, though. Just a lot of good team fight. Feels very like well-rounded for the price.
Now you're
I think
up a
that's the same
game.
price, isn't it? Beastmaster's the same price as last game.
Is he? He didn't go up.
Pretty sure he was 88.
Did he
And they
lose?
won.
Was he on Radiant?
Yeah, they won.
Okay.
10 seconds
Knoxville.
remaining.
Well, that's the smallest of the problems that we've encountered.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Five
okay.
seconds remaining.
It's a new software integration basically. Knoxville did all the numbers
Reserve
this time, so it could be miscommunication from there to the website. It's probably something really easy to fix, honestly.
Did
Yeah.
do you guys think it's worth if you're up a game to go for bounties? Is that a play?
Yes.
I
I
think
saw that
so.
last time, right?
I think so.
Radiant
Yeah, there was like a
team
blend of that.
Oh!
Whoa, a techie's pick.
Okay.
Goodness.
Wow.
I mean, 20 moonbucks is. Oh, they're gonna do like. Well, I guess you don't need to do tiny techie stuff. Oh, you can though.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Techies
dude.
puts mines, toss them back
Yuck
to where
'em
the
in.
mines are, and then they have to like get out of while being surrounded by like 3 proxy mines, 4 proxy mines.
Dire
Now, does
team
techies have additional value because doesn't Roche have that kick? Kick people
Only
away.
Super Roche.
Only
and
Super
costs,
Roche.
It costs a lot of money to do it.
Okay.
So
So take it away. Wraith King though, more good team fight.
More push too. Just like go, end game.
they have like tons of summons
10
on the Alliance's
seconds
side. That's the
remaining.
big thing. They're gonna like drop stuff down. They're gonna be running at you. They're gonna buy a Vlad's. They're gonna
5
have.
They're gonna
maybe
pick
Mech.
Visage last.
Yeah, they're doing like a death push. In fact, they might be going
For that.
for
Yeah.
tunnel vision. We could possibly see
I thought someone would go for the bringing a knife to a gunfight one.
the melee one.
Yeah, I think the 5 melee is very doable, especially when you're already picking Undying, but they obviously had the Dazzle first anyway.
Yeah, it's just pretty restrictive. I feel like.
Like, do you
Well,
think
and they
Alliance
have
might
a
be,
techies, so that would have been pretty bad.
Yeah.
Alliance could go Pugna with their last pick. He's only 43. He's pretty cheap if
Yeah.
they want quick pushing. Where's Death Prophet? I don't. She's 67, so also pretty cheap.
I mean, basically anything on the first row is, or even the second row, bottom 3 rows of every category is super
Pretty open,
reasonable.
yeah. Quick question about the bounties. If you complete the bounty but lose the game, do you still get the
Still
bounty?
get
Still
it.
get it.
Doesn't
There
matter
are
if you win.
some stipulations that are win only.
Yes.
But it's pretty rare.
Okay.
We decided to remove. We used to last time we had win a bounty. You get double if you win. If you complete the bounty and win the game. But it kind of like restricted some of our pricing structures a little bit, made it a little bit more
Yeah.
complicated. So we're just gonna the ones that should be rewarded on wins or should be doubled
Got
on a
it.
win. We'll
Okay.
we'll leave it specific.
All right,
Yeah.
this is a mango game. 100 moonbucks for
Yeah.
Alliance. Just slap it onto Undying.
Yeah. But the downside is that you do kind of need to
Dire
use those
team
mangoes as
ban.
well. So
Oh yeah, how
Like,
long
it's
is
Oh,
that?
you're right. Yeah,
it's
you
not
gotta-
just a
yeah,
passive
that's
regen
true.
item. Like
Yeah,
technically you
yeah.
can't eat those
All
mangoes.
right, time to buy even more.
It means
Just
if you
fill
drop
entire-
your headset, your mangoes are gone. And you lose the challenge. Like you got to be careful, dude.
You accidentally spam all your mangoes.
I've done that, but I don't know about you guys. But it's like, oh, I didn't mean to press
10
my
seconds
hotkey. Boom,
remaining.
Oh,
my
yeah.
mangoes are gone.
Yeah, I've definitely done that.
Weaver. Damn. So they
5
got one
seconds
really expensive
remaining.
hero that Bambo should be able to own on, and then just some value stuff.
Reserve time.
I'm surprised I got the line in the first phase. The line's pretty good, but
Knoxville says Beastmaster was 59 last game, and
Okay.
now he's 88.
I
So
knew
basically-
it.
we
I knew it all along.
you guys were just
blamed him for
You're
no
just-
reason without data.
I
You just
remember
threw it out
seeing
there.
88M somewhere.
You're just making shit up.
Yeah, there was probably another hero worth 88M. Well,
Maybe it was
great
Lion.
memory.
He is 88.
Well, shout out to Knoxville. Sorry for flaming you, bud. I'll stand up for
Knoxville, we're gonna
your
find
honor.
another opportunity to flame.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of time. It's fine. That was just the beginning.
And Brood is gonna. So the bans are almost, other than the community ones, obviously, for the stunners, exactly the same. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
As last game, despite the loss.
take away the comfort.
10 seconds remaining.
And they're still banning. Does Bulldog plays Brood as well,
5
right? I assume.
seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
And
think
so
so.
does Chessie, I'm pretty sure.
That's
I
true.
think he pubs it. Isn't Chessie like rank 1?
Reserve
Am I
time.
crazy?
He's very high MMR, yeah.
He was for a bit.
He's a super
I guess we just hit the
striker.
resets now. I don't know who's anything now.
Yeah. I'm rank 300 Divine 7.
Congratulations.
I don't know what it means, but I haven't had a chance to actually like get to Immortal yet. But I went up in MMR, so I'm like, all right, cool. I'll take
Sick.
it.
So Alliance thinking about a potential final ban here.
They got lots of time. What do we have? A Weaver, a Tiny. They have a lot of burst with the Tiny and the Lion, and then potentially the Techies too.
The Stunners have kind of a weird draft. I don't like the game plan for Alliance looks pretty obvious. What are the stunners angling for? Like I don't really know what
They
they
need-
want with this last.
They need
pick.
a core that has wave clear or counter push.
Yeah, like
a
an
Tinker
Ember or something.
or a Coddle, that like something like that in my opinion, because they are going to death push, and Stunners has a bunch of cheese stuff with like tiny mine stuff, so they're going to do toss back things. They either need to like save that guy that gets tossed back somehow, or be able to slow the push that they have buy timed for these setups.
Yeah, they need like Ember, Tinker, even like an Alk or something maybe. They need a game-winning hero. It's going to be like the full focus point for this tiny Techies and Lion to play around.
Radiant team pick.
How big were the Alk nerfs? He's still 213 right now. So that's obviously based off of TI, but
What was it? There was the
No mana regen on ulti.
Yeah, the no mana regen on ulti was kind of the big one, but I haven't played it myself. But playing against it, it doesn't feel that different. But I do know that his win rate did go down. And the might or the Grievel's Greed, if you
10
don't get a
seconds
lot of,
remaining.
it takes a little bit longer to ramp up the gold. So
Oh,
if you're like a
true.
top tier player,
5
that
seconds
nerf probably
remaining.
doesn't matter. The mana one probably does, but they're also good at bringing clarity. So it's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
it's like it
Reserve
just kind of
time.
depends. And it's pretty much mandatory to get a soul ring now, I would argue. On Alk, whereas before you could kind of get away without it. So it's like, okay, you have to spend 900 more gold to get a soul ring and more clarities, but it's basically the same hero.
Blind 9th pick. Where's Kunkka? Is he really pricey here? 215?
Yeah, I mean, he was picked at TI a pretty good amount. Like all the heroes in the first row are definitely heroes we saw a lot at TI.
You might feel pressure to get a ranged core, though, versus the Techies.
What about Medusa?
I don't know if they...
I don't think you want
It's
to
like a
against
little
Weaver.
slow.
A little too slow.
It's bad against Weaver and Lion, kind of. You can mana drain in
Dire
2 different
team
ways.
pick.
Ooh, Kunkka.
Kunkka, yeah.
Okay.
All right, a bigger spend there.
so 6.
I think he was the best mid in a vacuum, but against the Techies, I could see someone being like, I don't really feel like doing this, guys. Because now you're going to need a
Yeah.
couple Quelling Blades for like the remote mines, too.
The stunners might be ending up spending less again, depending on this last pick.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty close.
10
Is there a
seconds
total? Oh, yeah, there it is.
It'd be like an
total spent
80,
draft.
80-ish gold, just
Yeah.
under 80.
5
Yeah.
seconds remaining.
I mean, I don't think they should care about that, though, because, you know, you're not
you
just,
gotta win.
Reserve
you're not just
time.
trying to beat one team. You're obviously still aiming for your long term, but I'm surprised they spent less, but it makes, I mean, the 20 cost heroes. Is the Tiny going to be worth it? I think it could be. Like, Bambo's definitely one of those players where you put him on a comfort hero, because he does play a lot on field,
Oh,
is
that's
my
cool.
impression.
Oh.
That was the last
it work.
ban last game.
That's
So
cool.
3 melees against Timbersaw
4.
and Techies.
4 melee
Oh,
strength
4.
heroes.
Yeah.
Damn, they could have just done the challenge. Like, come on.
That's true. They were really close. Timbersaw could do the mangoes, actually. Stout Shield 5 mangoes. That's
There's no way
100%.
that's worth.
You can do it. He's
What?
like-
How are you going to snowball in your lane?
You have to get the tower, though, right? You have to
yeah,
get
you
tier
got to
1
kill the tower first. That's it.
as
Timber's
Timbers.
literally a
no
hero.
way. This sounds like something Slacks would argue for, and you would be sitting here saying, "There's no way that's good."
No, like,
I can't believe you're saying this
Reactive
is worth
armor
it.
is so busted in lane. It's like a I won the lane. I'm virtually impossible
no way
to kill.
that's good.
What do you mean? I'm not saying it's good necessarily, but he can
Saying
survive.
it's possible.
He can
It
survive.
depends
I
on
don't
your
know.
teammates actually getting a tower, though. You're
Yeah,
not
there's no way you're getting the tower. I mean, maybe if everyone comes mid.
You just cut the creep wave. You won't have a quelling. There's definitely downsides, but I'm saying you can survive and be a presence in the lane.
I mean, you can put
with
3
just stout.
mangoes in your stash or whatever that thing's called, the backpack.
I don't think that counts.
No,
No,
that's-
hold on. Put it in your backpack, and when the tower's about to go down, you put 6 in your, or you put 5.
No, they have to be in the
No.
whole time. That's the
That's
whole
what it
part
says
of
the
it.
whole time.
Yes,
The whole time.
that is why it is a
That's
challenging
impossible.
bounty.
That's impossible.
Okay,
Thank you,
Absolutely
Sussy.
impossible.
we'll see.
No one's crazy enough to do that.
No, it's too crazy.
Well,
We've gone too far.
gentlemen, do we have any predictions about who might take game number 2? Alliance already leading 1-0 in this one.
I think this is going to 3 games. That's a lot of melee heroes against Techies. How's that even possible to win?
And Timber.
And Timber.
Okay.
I'm going to take Alliance because I think the Timber's going to die like 4 times.
With the 5 mangoes.
yeah. I
I
think
think-
it's going to feed away the lane lead and lose.
I think Alliance's push is strong, and yeah, they have some counters, but unless they like super snowball, and even if they do, like, what are they going to turn it into? Timber is like kind of crappy late game. Like, I just don't have a lot of faith in their draft to be able to be like a strong comp, whereas Alliance's comp looks really strong.
I'm kind of in a similar camp. I'm excited about this Techies. I actually think Bambo will pop off with the
Yeah.
Tiny in the mid game, and I think
Always
we're
does.
going to be really excited about how awesome he looks, but it won't be enough to actually win the game. I think that's like
Yeah.
the dark side of Bambo. He's flashy in the mid game, and then closing it out takes the
Yeah.
discipline that's
I
missing.
feel like if he's playing
sometimes.
Tiny Earthshaker and probably another hero I'm not thinking of right now. It feels like he just destroys every single time, especially in like fun tournaments like this where
Yes.
all the spotlights on. He loves the spot.
Elimination Mode 1, Sexy Bambo, Sand King.
Sand King, that was the one. Yeah,
That was it. I will never forget that. One of the most standout Sand King performances I've ever seen.
it was sick.
It was Bambo.
I'm curious who's playing the techies.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Not
don't know.
Cinderin. I
know.
can guarantee
I
you.
know
that.
Waga plays it
Waga
quite a
plays
bit,
it.
right? He really
Yeah,
likes
that
it.
sounds right.
I could see
So
him.
possibly. I mean, it could be Bambo, right? That's the other thing is that he might be on the techies.
not over Timey. There's no way.
Well, based on positions, it's just a little bit weird, right? That's the only thing.
Yo.
I mean, I agree.
Bambo's ready to roll swap. He's like, oh, I'll play the hero.
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
not the most like cookie cutter player.
Yeah.
So he's ready to change things up.
Yeah. So, of course, we'll jump into the game as soon as the lobby's ready to start. Thoughts about Techie's builds? Very curious what the go-to
Or
item
slacks.
trajectory is.
Boy.
It's like
you
Ags,
don't
Dual
need slacks.
Scepter.
You go Soul Ring.
'Kay.
You get Tranquil Boots to increase your movement speed, and that way then you can use Sacrifice, or you can use Suicide to like kill creeps, damage heroes, and still get healed back up without being vulnerable. Then you get a Yule Scepter typically, lots of mana regen. You can use it for like Yules into trap setups, and it gives you more movement speed again. And then from there you go Ags. And
I like,
after that you buy other items.
These early stasis trap builds now.
How
It used to
early?
be. I usually see it in lane, like around like
Really?
level 5. At least all the techies I've seen lately have been going for it. And
Okay.
it seems really strong. That ability is bonkers.
It
It's just
really is.
good so that people can't just deal with your proximity mines.
Yeah, that's true. But most
Yeah.
people are like, oh, I don't need that until later. But then
Yeah.
it is like, oh, you're guaranteed an explosion.
Yeah.
So it does make some sense to squeak it up. But I think the duration is lower level 1. I'm not sure. I don't play techies. I don't know
Yeah.
the numbers that much. But
It's been a while. I did watch Slacks play a Techie's game last night. I learned nothing.
I mean, he does have a 60-something% win rate,
62%.
Oh,
He's
I know.
bragging just back there. He said I'm in the top 100 Dota buff. So
so I don't know if that's true. Is that actually true?
I could see it.
That's what he says, so I believe him.
mean,
He
he's-
would never lie.
He's really good at like mind clumping and getting like killing cores in mid game scenarios when like that gets you super far ahead.
Yeah.
It's like
He does the high risk, low reward.
yeah,
kind of a deal.
it's like how often does your support just solo kill the highest net worth on the enemy team randomly? It's like insane the game implications of that. Like no other
Yeah.
hero can do it.
I
in
don't
a
know
lot
if
of
he's
cases.
changed, but like as of like a year ago, he would not use his mines to kill creep waves.
Yeah,
when they were pushing.
he's pretty bad about that. He
No,
doesn't
he
he
doesn't
doesn't
do that.
mine on the enemy side of the map enough. Is in my opinion of his gameplay.
I do see why it fits his mentality, though, because Techies is very much about playing your opponents and trying to get into the head of, like, where are they going to do. What you have to think a step ahead, unlike most heroes are sort of that urgency of where the creeps are right now sort of a thing.
Yep.
Very much
And he
Slack's
likes to
hero.
ruin games too. That's
Yeah, I hate techies so much.
I remember when they changed the remote mines to be like you can kill them now. I remember your quote. You're like, somehow they found a way to make the most obnoxious hero in Dota more obnoxious.
Wait, what about him?
You know how the mines, you didn't used to be able to kill them?
Is it that sound that's annoying?
Yeah, that you have this kind of
Oh,
like you
yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah.
constantly look forward and then step back, and you're like kind of checking, guessing every single one of your little movements.
It's
Yeah.
way better that way.
Or
though.
when you couldn't see them with sentries.
It's
yeah.
better, but when it dropped, Trent was livid. I remember that.
Oh, I was just
podcast.
annoyed, like, because you put a sentry in and then you could see the mines at least and deal with them. But now it's like, if my mouse isn't right next to my hero and I'm just walking somewhere, it's like, beep, beep, and then.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we do have game 2.
Okay.
Start.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hop right in here. Alliance, Sadims, Stunners. Let's hand it over to our casters, Odie Pixel and Kyle.
Thank you very much. Zaori. I'm Odie Pixel. I'm here with Kyle, and we're ready for game 2 of Sadims Stunners versus Alliance. We have a techies, Kyle. Do they have the means to deal with it? I feel like they've got a good approach, right? They got the Kunkaram, they have the Wraith King with his double lives.
I think the Beastmaster pick too. You know, Bulldog proving he can win games on this third hero, and it's excellent against the techies. You can both scout out his position, send boars into the mines. You need some kind of creep hero to deal with him.
And what do you think about some of the drafting tactics this game from Stunners? Going in with that big buy at the start, getting the tiny for the team. Is this hero as valuable as the MOONDUCK say it is?
We will see. It's certainly expensive. I don't think he was on like nearly any fantasy lineups because you got to figure that there's no way he's that valuable.
30 seconds to
However, it is Bambo. This is his specialty. Has been for a while.
Oh, let's see. As we get ourselves into game 2, can Sadims Stunners bring this series to that third game, or will Alliance be able to walk away with a second win in a row? They are going to have to get past these techies, these tinies, these heroes that we all know the Stunners players for being very, very confident on. And Gorgsy this time bringing in the Carry Weaver. So already a bit of gold to go the way of them here. So they'll start off with the stun onto 1, as that'll be both boars of Bulldogs being fed over to the dire side. So they'll be happy with that bit of a start to the money. They do able to turn and punch down Gorg pretty hard. A great stun comes out for the line, and that will stop and for being able to chase the Weaver any further. Gorg's able to get himself back to safety.
A nice stun from Cinderin, even though he did just deny my friend request. Still nice to see him land that double stun.
And as we come into the second game, I do believe we have fixed the gold bounties. So we should see kills actually be worth more than 20 gold.
Well,
So
we
we're
didn't.
fine.
What do you mean? Nothing was broken. We're just responding to the
testing
community
mechanics.
feedback.
Exactly. No, we're adapting to the responses. And whoa, what is this mid? This is, of course, the ESL Kunkka. Look at him go there as there he has the ESL 1 Cup on his back. He's got all of the ESL merch as well. Of course, shout out to ESL for buying Kunkka and making him look absolutely fabulous here. We'll see how well he can do in the lane against the Wagamamba Timbersaw. As so far, 5-1, 5-0 in between the two of them, as that will be Loda bottom lane. They get in and on top of Bambo. Bambo trying for a bit of a sneaky play in the trees. Loda is able to hunt him down with Jerry, and damn, calling him out as well, as they found him hiding in the sidelines. He's going to have to try and be a little more sneaky, Bambo, as Loda and Jerry, they're on top of the bottom lane right now.
Yeah, they went for this more farm-centered build, right? You got Tree grab on Bambo level 1 and Sing Sing with Suicide, but hasn't been able to use it just yet. If he had Toss and Mines, maybe they could have made some shenanigans happen. But it's tough again, because Wraith King does have the skeletons he could spawn. That if they chase techies into the trees, all the mines just explode, so.
Oh, for sure, yeah, the early pressure not doing anything at all, really, to this Wraith King as Loda is getting very good CS. Down bottom, getting those denies in as well. The mid lane matchup continues to be very even between these two tanky brutes. Kunkka and the Timbersaw, neither likely to be forced out of lane early on.
Timber will certainly move ahead, especially when he hits level 6. But for now, it's relatively even. Top lane Gork. Nope. Not going to go for it.
And this time around with the lane set up, Bulldog able to get quite a fair bit out of the first two lanes, keeping even with the CS of Gorg. So much better lane start for him. And we saw what he was able to do last game, even when he didn't have a brilliant start to the lane. Suffered in farm early on, but was still able to offer a lot as the Beast Master. Bottom lane, there's the con, but finally, this time around, Bambo will be able to get in on Jerry. Get a little bit of revenge onto ETM.
Still just 36 gold, however, coming the way.
Oh, no, okay. So as you were saying, it was intended.
Right. Yeah, this is tricky, though. For Gorksec to win this, I think you need to ride this Timbersaw specifically. Waga's got to have an excellent game. And he'll start to take over this lane, but your side lanes are going to struggle here for certain.
Yeah, both top and bottom being handled very well by Alliance at the start. Bulldog just able to keep the pressure on Gorg, low on the mana, does still have a Mango available for an emergency Shikuchi if it is required. Down bottom, they'll try for the setup here again. Toss back, comes into play underneath the tower. He's got a fair bit of strength, of course, as it is. 24 stacks, in fact, at the moment on Jerry, so he'll be able to walk this one off. Even with the blast off coming into play, it's not going to be nearly enough to bring Jerry down this time, so an easy escape for the Undying. And Loda able to make the most of this pull to the side. Still continuing to have absolute free farm on the safe lane Wraith King Loda. It's looking very solid so far.
He's got to be happy. Not really much in the way of playmaking abilities for both teams, though, so can't really expect any rotations for some time. Dazzle and Dying on one team, Lion Techies on the other. Top, though. Bulldog.
He's going to try his best to hide the trees, but the bugs are on him. And with that, Gork will easily claim the kill. See if they can try and chase down for another. They'll try for a little bit of a slow with that suck. And they won't look to dive the tower. He's able to escape. Bottom lane, another attempt, this time successful. Jerry not quite having the same amount of strength stacks built up as he did earlier. As Sing Sing and Bambo continue to cause chaos, at least for Jerry. Still, Loda being completely unfazed, as there is no pressure at all that these two heroes seem to be able to put on to stop a Wraith King early on in this laning stage.
Yeah, but you do have a Timbersaw, though. So, I mean, if you look at the net worth, Waga super ahead, nearly 1,000 ahead of Chessie, who's been relegated to actually jungling in the dire side of the map because you just can't stand in lane against the Timber. 5-minute rune spawn. 3 for 1 stream stack coming ahead.
See down bottom, Loda. He's going to be able to get the wraparound. Quick play with the toss, though. Bambo able to make sure Loda cannot dive for more Sing. By the side, Bambo and EGM looking to get very aggressive with these levels now, feeling very strong against the two of them as they're able to easily farm the wave in between the towers. Now, it's unlikely for any sort of rotation to catch them off guard. If it does come into play, they'll be expecting it and prepared to back off.
Oh, stun.
See if they can find this kill underneath the tower. Tombstone has been dropped. Avalanche, Bambo is able to get himself away from the two of them. But still having to play very defensive now, both Bambo and Sing Sing. They have to look for some real sort of flaw in the positioning of Jerry, really, if they want to try and have a kill down here once more. Top lane, Gorg tries to go in again onto Ake. The heals. It's not enough damage from this Weaver yet. Pressure is on, and again, Bulldog's farm continuing to have a lead on that of Gorg's this game. Another attempt, but one more Shikuchi will be there to allow him to escape, but he has to be careful. Gorg suffering now against these two heroes.
Look at mid lane, though. This is the thing about Timbersaw. When you have no one that's able to rotate, he's actually just going to sit under tower and tank it until the catapult finishes it off. And there's nothing you can do as Alliance to challenge this.
They get the kill on Gorg. He was hanging around too low. We saw him early on very, very little mana and health. And did stick around. Bulldog is able to walk in, take that kill. These side lanes continue to be an absolute treat for Alliance.
Yeah, there's no real core. I mean, I think Gork was going for the efficient shrine to the right, but got picked off as he was trying to do a little bit of harass damage. Nice deny on the ward there from Ake.
Hey, they get Loda this time around. Sing Sing and Bambo, they're able to find him. Bambo did have the DD rune to help out. And Loda came hunting around the trees, does not have that point yet in the reincarnation.
Yeah, how is Dire so far ahead in levels bottom? They're both level 5. Undying just hit 4. Look at mid. Waga's still pushing this lane.
Yeah, he's going to be doing that for a long time.
Toss into the mines. Oh, it's a creep.
Didn't quite get the catch. And now Bambo, he's got to be careful. They're hunting him. They'll get him. Bambo will tick down Jerry. Able to find the kill as the trading of action just continues on both the bottom top. Bulldog will be able to get the neutral creep tonight. Heads over before they're able to get on top of him. Drops him. A good old smiley face as well. Sins and Gorg unable to get the kill this time round. This mid lane, it's 8 minutes in, tier 2. It's nearly falling.
Yeah, Chelsea's finally able to finish off the catapult. Love to get a stat on how much hero damage it just did. It was alive for nearly 3 minutes.
I mean, what do they do about this Wagga Timber?
Nothing. You just ignore him for now. There's nothing you can do.
I mean, at what point will there be something like what one of the heroes really on Alliance's lineup is going to be able to offer the chance to kill him? Bottom lane, Bambo finds Chessie. Oh, sorry, sorry, towards mid. That rotation from Bambo, that kills him off. So now that gives even more space for Wagga to keep pushing on. Singh will be able to find the deny. It's only going to get the space for Loda to push onto the tier 1 tower. So not only struggling to force back Wagga's pressure, also dying in this mid lane with these rotations coming in early on.
He's just going to TB bottom now. Love this. This is exactly how you want to play the Timbersaw. You take towers in your own lane and then immediately rotate to the strongest side of the enemy. You're going to find a kill, and now you're just going to rinse and repeat and start walking down this bottom lane. And to your point, I don't really know what Alliance does against Timbersaw.
Nice.
They don't have heroes to counter him until late game.
It really is just Wagga's. He's got the whole setup in front of him to play with. Very little that's going to slow him in his tracks. He heads wherever he wants and takes whatever towers that he requires. That bottom lane tier 1 is not going to stay up too long. We'll see how much they keep down here. Loda's going to stay down for now. Back in the river. Bambo finds a quick catch. Ake out alone. Combo will do it, burst him out before he's able to get a single spell off.
Dude, and just realize, like, you not only have a Timbersaw, there's a techies behind him. Like, these cores complement each other so well because you just... how are you supposed to get through a Timbersaw to find the techies? And in the event you even go for him with a 4 or 5-man rotation, you're walking into a minefield. That's a no-go. It's going to be another tier 1. Top lane, this is really Alliance's only lane to move towards.
Yeah, they've got to just play where the Timber isn't. And Gorg and Sin, they know that straight back underneath the tower. It's 4 members of Alliance pushing in. They do not want to try and mess with this push. As powerful as the Timbersaw is, the rest of the team are still a little vulnerable, especially Gorg on that Weaver if he gets caught out by a Disable or 2. Especially once that Raw is online from Bulldog. A lot of setup. But Gorg's got to be very careful how close he comes toward.
A 2k gold lead in favor of Sadims Stunners. pretty much all the towers. As Wagga just, as we said, he's going to keep going. Just continues attacking the tower. Catapult wave on the way. Chessie's going to pop ultimate just a deep push. And he exits himself back towards top. I actually really like that play from Chessie.
I think it was the best thing you can do right in this
Yeah,
situation.
clear
You're
the
not going
whole
to do
creep
anything
wave.
about the hero.
Yeah, and now he's immediately top, so they can continue trying to make some sort of play onto the Weaver, but very difficult to take him down if they don't get a point-blank roar or stun off. And Bulldog currently not quite there yet.
The torrent setup, Chessie. He's found Sin. Sin turns with a quick stun, but he's been outnumbered. Chessie finds the finish. Now Gorg has to hide in the trees. We'll see if they go hunting for him. They are going to know that Gorg is around. Courier actually on its way over. Be a little careful with that Courier, especially if Ake gets in behind the trees. In fact, they'll bring Wagamama over. Try and slow down this push. And dissuade Alliance from sticking around for this commitment. Toss over, and with the burst, Ake's in trouble. He's caught on the front of it all. They'll run him down. He will die. Wagga finds the kill. It's now they can look to do this. Wagga wasn't quite able to finish off the tier 2 bottom, but coming in like this, it stops Alliance from being able to make those plays that they're trying to find around this Timber Saw. They don't want to get involved in anything that Wagga's involved with.
Oh, mid lane, Sin gets the deny. Well played.
May cost him his life. Chessie's going to go for the combo. Bambo will be there to try and help out. The combo not quite enough. Sin will survive, and now they'll look to turn. Bambo got the toss back straight into the stun for Sin. Do they have the burst to bring him down? In fact, Sin will fall loader, able to finally finish him. Chessie, he's tanky with that run buff. Going to put the mango on Bambo. Bambo's trying to chase. Great torrent. Catches Gorg mid-chase. There'll be the toss forward onto Sing Sing. He's looking for the blast off. Won't quite be able to find the jump, but it's not required. Gorg's able to chase with Shikuchi, and they'll kill Chessie off. So may have lost Sin, but again, taking down Chessie, keeping control of the big cause and slowing down the Kunkka's game.
It's still fine, though, when you can see Cinder and a bit salty that he once again has died. But he got the tower deny, and Alliance, they're keeping the game equal. You're not in a position where you can address the Timber Saw. You've got to wait that 5, probably about 7 minutes from now. That's when you could potentially make a move towards him. Until then, just stall it out. Even if you die, it's no big deal. You just want to ensure that you don't lose map control. Double wave top, Wagga coming in. Already a TP from Chessie, who's just going to boat the creep wave. Keep the towers alive, name of the game.
Yeah, nothing more than that. Wagga still completely unkillable, as it seems, against these heroes of Alliance.
Bambo. He's thinking about making a play for Loda.
So he's done it the
Oh,
once.
he's going to try and toss back onto the mines.
Get
Look
the
at this play.
reincarnate. There he's got it, Bambo!
That's
He's making a lot up. They talked about it on the panel, the Bambo Tiny. Gorg does find Jerry as well. 2 kills for Sadims Stunners up and down the map.
That was cool. He pops the illusion rune, tosses Loda back. There's no way that he's expecting that.
And he did it 2 times, right? He was able to take him out the first time, pop that reincarnate, and jump in and make that play happen.
What's the quote when in that documentary about the Pucho King? He's like, how is this even fair? How is this even balanced?
Yes.
That's what he.
That's probably what he's saying right then.
Indeed.
The tiny techies. It's never fun to play against, and especially when it's Bambo and Sing Sing. If you sort of chose 2 players to be in this duo, these would be the most annoying to go against, as they are going to be so good with these sort of setups. It's 11 for 5. Advantage in the kills. Just a 2k lead, though. Farm's still pretty good across the board for Alliance. Loda, a little bit of a setback. Will slow down his Radiance timing, but he got the Midas online at a very good pace, thanks to the amount of farm he was able to find in that bottom lane. Swagger finally able to finish off that tier 1 tower top, as again, Alliance have tried a few times to slow down these pushes that he's bringing in with the Timber Saw, but the inevitable has always occurred where the tower will finally fall without them able to put a dent at all into this Timber. As Wagga free to reign and roam wherever he wants on this map. So he'll look to continue to make himself feel at home up top and try for the tier 2. They'll get the finger off Sind. That's a kill onto Loda. As soon as he's back in and trying to get that farm continue towards that Radiance, he's taken out once more. They'll look towards Wagga top, but this is a kill that's going to be very hard to get. They will go with the Roar. They've got the Necro Books out. They're trying their best to bring him out and down here. The Spirit Vessel certainly helping out, and that will do it. They finally get that kill. Wagga is dead.
Yep, really well done there. Chessie has the Spirit Vessel, as you said, that's what actually gives them the opportunity to find that kill. And that's how you play Dota if you're Alliance, right? You stall, you ignore Waga completely. As soon as you finally have the tools to deal with them, you rotate 4, and you find a critical kill. Really well done. They lost Loda, of course, but, I mean, that's to be expected.
Yeah, Loda's, well, his lane was sort of left alone. You know, he pushed out very far. At that point, he was always going to have to assume that that sort of play could come in. He did spend up on the recipe, at least trying to limit gold loss. But does mean he's still got that long road towards the relic. They need time. And with the way that they have been able to push the Sadims Stunners with this Waga Timber Sword, just having constant pressure onto the towers, that map control is getting shut down. And the spaces, at least the safe areas for Loda to get out and farm that Radiance, are going to be reduced.
And we can even see on the minimap, look at the warding from Dire. 4 all aggressively placed at the river or beyond. Whereas Alliance, in fact, they just lost the only ward they had placed on the map. So completely in the dark now. And that's represented in the way they're playing. Yeah, look how defensively they're minded. And this is against the techies too, so you're even more frightened than we would recognize initially.
Quick combo play from Chess. He's going to come out onto Gorg, looking to try and put an end to him. We'll be able to kill him off before he's able to get the time lapse out. They do go for the TP, but Bulldog's there to put a stop to it. The Roar will hold Sind in his tracks as Alliance get the 2 of them. Gorg getting a little bit over-aggressive there. Chessie with the great read and counterplay, catching him out.
No, it was Gorg, I think, lagged there just a little bit. He would have got his time lapse off, but unfortunately, just a bit of delay.
I imagine that's certainly going to be the words that he's using right now. He's dead for a little bit. 1K lead for the Stunners still. Still holding very close between the two teams. And we'll see what the build's going to be after the Spirit Vessel for Chessie. Bottom, last off, looking for Bulldog. Bambo's in, slaps him down. Bulldog's dead. It's Bambo and Sing Sing, the entirety of this game, continue to make magic happen between the 2 of them. That phase blink at a very, very reasonable timing. You've got to be careful when you come out on this map. There's so many threats for Alliance to accidentally play themselves into. They have to almost only group up for the most part. Any sort of move out alone can be put quickly to a stop as, again, Bambo finding kill after kill. Gets Ake. There will be the control. The DMCA boat from ESL comes crashing down onto Sing, but it's not enough. Sing is able to walk it off. The stun comes out from Sin. Finger onto the Undying won't quite be enough to burst him, but Bambo has the stun control. They found themselves the kill onto Chessie. They'll get the tree out as well onto Jerry. Bambo hitting these angles, making these plays, and they're not done quite yet. Waga does want to look for Loda, but he's actually going to turn for the easier kill. Bulldog left alone. They separated from the team. 3 dead on Alliance. The Sadims Stunners get active and aggressive over Alliance's side of the map. Nowhere seems to be safe for Alliance to farm right now.
Cinderin getting a little confident now. Just a 2K lead, though. Got to stay conservative. And this is all just based around the vision that this Dire team has. I mean, Loda TPs into the Shrine. Immediately, reincarnations pop just because Sing Sing had already preemptively placed a bunch of ultimate mines.
See Bambo actually walking in very confidently straight up towards the Shrine. He's got Waga by his side, so I guess why not? The Shrine will be popped. Healing Loda up as well as Chessie.
Got no mana on Waga. Got to get out of here.
We do get the X mark on Bambo. This would be a pretty juicy kill to find as he's been having a lot of fun so far, Bambo. Kill after kill. And finally put a stop to it. 57.
It's big.
I mean, relatively to some of the other kills, that still worth something. Over 1 creep at least this time round, so they can be happy with that one.
I'll be curious to see both teams have excellent Roche taking lineups, but of course we do get a new Roshan player per game, so who knows how difficult this one will be to take down.
Yeah, there may be some huge variance in how strong the Roshans are. We'll see. That Bambo with the flames as well. I mean, he's certainly in a position to dish them out. His Tiny has been causing a lot of issues for Alliance so far this game. But that's also a good point as well. You never want to be vocal when you're dead. Very easy comeback to use against you. As top lane, jump forward. They found him in the trees. They're on top. Can they quite finish him off? He's trying his best to cut through the tree line, Chessie. He's speedy. Waga be able to chop them all down, get the vision required. The setup's there with the Yules. To drop down a boat, goes for the TP out. That's more than enough damage from the 4 of them, even Bambo being in range to drop an avalanche as well.
But it's not important because of the runes. The runes. And Alliance get 3. That's worth the kill. That's all just base made.
With the amount that kills are worth, yeah, bounty runes are worth a ridiculous amount in comparison. So you definitely got to favor that.
And Loda's just farming this whole time. Now gets the illusion rune up with Midas, so he'll be able to cut 2 waves. That's real value. Smoke coming out from the stream stack. Where will they make the play is the question. They had vision on these 3 heroes middle from Alliance. Gonna place another one on the high ground and look to get aggro.
Let's see what they can get around the back mid.
It's just
Bambo.
sports right now.
Sin goes for the jump, quickly looking to burst down the Undying, but the finger they'll do it. Jerry's out. No chance for a response. Unlikely to find anything more around the shrine area. Already the rest of Alliance just playing away from it all. Loda just focusing on getting that farm. Now he knows that at the moment in this mode, the creeps are where the value is. There's no point even getting involved. Even with the Radiance, the value is going to be much better invested in going creeps to creeps and getting himself as big as possible so he doesn't have to worry about being burst by all these very potent heroes on Stunner's lineup.
He got so much gold from this illusion rune. He got 2 different camps twice in the Dire jungle and 3 lanes mid while farming bottom. It's about as value as you know for. And this is the scary moment of the game for Sir Sadims Stunners, of course, because now your Timbersaw, sure, he's still your top net worth, but he's suddenly killable. And what item is that? Is that what I think it is on Timber?
I'd say it's the performance-enhancing Lotus Assault.
Oh.
I don't know performance in what it's enhancing. It looks very sort of sus with how it looks. I'm sure we've just got dirty minds there, Kyle.
Probably the case.
1910. Alliance. With the blink, maybe they can look to go on Loda. They can get themselves on top of Gorg in particular. Not necessarily a huge amount of reliable save. There's a good amount of stuns that they do have to be worried about in terms of counter plays from the Dire side. And Gorg actually, well, he's very close to having the Lincoln Sphere, so suddenly that blink on the Wraith King will be much less of a threat for him. As each and every time he will be able to get himself away with the Shikuchi or time-lapse. Unless they get him with some good coordination, maybe pop it, the X mark or the Roar.
Interesting that he chose to go back for the Lincolns. Especially with the treads picked up. I would have expected him to get at least the Perseverance preemptively. Wagga with the nice Yules will juke the Kunkka Torrent, but thus far it seems like both teams content to farm, though I have to imagine this favors Alliance. Wraith King, definitely the stronger carry in this game. They picked it into Weaver for a reason. Late game, you just start critting him. All of a sudden you're forcing all with just one swing.
I mean, the pick-off potential will certainly be better from Stunners. But as it slowly slows down, that's going to be a lot harder for them to go for anything more really other than the tier 2s. Going for the high ground push is a whole different bit of an issue for Sadims Stunners at the moment. As that Lincoln Spear of is done. Gorg can push out a little more harshly without the Wander or Warrior being caught out initially by a stun, as long as heroes are showing elsewhere. Nice load up, just focusing on continue to farm after that Blink Dagger. Get the AC done and just continue to build up all 3 cores. And so far Loda, of course, taking the lead in net worth, closely followed by Wagga and Gorg. And then Chessie and Bulldog just trailing a little bit behind at the moment. Bambo. Gonna see a chance.
Wow.
That DD rune makes short work of Ake. They do get the Blast of Silence onto EGM, and with the chain forward, they'll get a second. Both supports caught out.
Oh, Wagga might have been able to get that Yules up, but misses the tree.
Still proving to be a very, very tricky map for Alliance to play out into, particularly for the supports.
You can see bots finished on Bulldog after the Necro 3, recognizing that he's got to go back to his roots here to win this game for Alliance. Rat, Dota, split push constantly, ignore the Timber, and just buy some time, even there, to grab 1 rune. In fact, the only rune his team will claim.
Nice Chessie actually able to run away from the 3 of them. They don't quite try it for the chase on him as he heads straight towards the north and is able to cut out the creep wave. BKB will be the next target for Chessie after that Shadow Blade, looking to just tank up, make sure that he himself isn't going to be put too much of a threat against this jump combo from Bambo. As, ooh, good attempt from Sin. Didn't quite have the angle though, so Chessie will manage to escape. Bambo now full Echo Saber. We've already seen how quickly he's been able to burst. Ake not going to get any easier the life of the Dazzle. Swagger just with a bit of a poke, but knows that he's a little deep on his own. The rest of Alliance sat behind Bulldog.
That was, I believe, they saw the animation under the ward they had on the EG cliff. So all of Dire looking to get out of dodge. Up 21-10. But still, not much of a gold lead.
On the fun Sing. Sing trying to mine in peace over at top. Sing does kill Bulldog though. Bulldog stepping into the wrong area. As a trade Sing will certainly be cool with taking. And when he's mining that aggressively, he's always going to expect to be found eventually. But as long as he's getting kills in return, it's certainly going to be worth it, making sure that even with him dead, Alliance are going to struggle to make any plays together. Mid lane, Sin gets the setup as Jerry steps a little too far forward. The Hex from the distance catches him out, and now Jerry's gone as well.
Yeah, creeps are in mid. They could look to push here. At least get some damage on the 2-3. Look at Bambo just shredding it. Those tree attacks. Ooh. Unfortunately, they glyph the Echo proc, but hey, still some DPS.
Yeah, 9-3-11, we're certainly seeing why the value was there, even as expensive as this hero was, 330 odd Moonbucks, but Bambo is certainly making it look to be effectively valued even higher, and if they do get the win, that certainly will be the case. Could be a strat in itself there, playing these expensive heroes and forcing them to a point where they're even more expensive and very hard for other teams to afford when they start to fall behind in the financial aspect of this tournament.
Yeah, they left the tier 3 at only 15 health, however, otherwise they could go move on to Shrines. Gork probably going to poke at it. Just needs one attack, but he's scared. As the Lincoln, but if he gets procced into a roar or a stun, he just gets 100-0, no problem. Sing caught mid.
And they should have this. Bow combos down, loaders on top of him. Do find Sing, but at the same time, that a bit of a show and a kill does open up Bambo the chance to get in and finish the tier 3 tower. And of course, with kills being as worth as little as they are, that is certainly worth for Sadims stunners. They're already looking to go back in. They may be without Sing, but they don't need the techies for these full-on head-on-head fights. So they'll focus down Jerry. Tombstone is dropped. Okay, by his side, they won't poke any further. They respect the hold from Alliance and back away, knowing that the full 5-man was there prepared to fight. And still against these two, loader is very, very strong, especially with this AC pretty much done. Top net worth, sending all the timings here as the Wraith King. It's just still very hard for him, especially alone, to do much against the two big cores of Sadims stunners. The Weaver and the Timbersaw, very elusive and hard for him to beat down upon. It's top lane Bulldog. He's being found. Jules is there. Do mess up the avalanche, but it's not needed. A quick 1-2 from Bambo. Takes Bulldog down once again. The first sort of time in the last few minutes that Alliance have started to look to try and push back outside of their half of the map, and it ends in disaster. Smokeout will be there. They're looking towards Roche. They'll get the jump in. Sing. Another time, found on the front. Bambo, no, he looks for the safe. The toss back won't matter. But Sing still falls. As Loader gets the kill, back towards the river. They've even found Gorg. They get the stone control back at the X-Bar. Gorg's messed up. As Gorg dies, dead for 70. They play through the Linkers, and now with Gorg gone, they can set up for more. Alliance find Cinderin as well.
Man. Talk about undying value, man. Started at what, 14 Moonbucks? Or 14 million Moonbucks? Already rose to 40, and I expected the Alliance to take this Roche. Let's see.
Let's see.
A lot of pressure on the man in the VR.
There we have it on VR Roche. He's stepping it up. Chessie's already been down to half. Chessie's got to get out of the pit. As, Alliance, they found another half in the last game. Bambo showing some deserved appreciation there for our VR Roche.
Oh, did they upgrade him? I think they upgraded him.
Was that the Super Roche? I don't think that's the Super Roche, is it?
He's got the extra abilities if you click on him. Does it pop up? Is it supposed to pop up?
No, he had. I think he has those anyway. Wait, no, yeah, wait, it's showing it. Can we get confirmation? Is this the Super Roche? Did they upgrade him?
This is normal. Oh,
It's
wow.
normal. Okay, it's normal.
Okay. All right, well, we haven't even seen.
All right, yeah, I was going to say, the super ice we saw earlier in practice, the super ice is ridiculous.
I can't.
So this is normal, right?
So far, the fans, just in regular mode, they haven't even needed to go Super Saiyan, and they still keep people out of the pit until 40 minutes. But if someone's willing to make that spend, will Roche actually go down?
If it's the super ice, I think it's pretty much unkillable. But we'll see. We thought that last game that just standard VR Roche would be too hard to tackle, but Alliance did eventually manage to take it. Granted, though, that time around they had some very good ways of dealing with the damage output, having the Bristleback and the Meepo to tank. This time around, they do have beefy heroes, but it's not quite the same as a Bristleback.
Maybe you've got to stun lock him. That's the secret.
Yeah, Disable's, of course, still working. 2K lead still for the Stunners. Alliance yet to take a tier 2 tower. And they themselves, their whole half of the map continuing to be controlled. Smoke comes out from Stunners. They're looking to see if they can find out alone. Bulldog, for the most part, he's the one that's sort of standing on the edge of it all. It will start to move over, join the rest of his team.
Loda also did pick up that AC, remember? So he will be able to help keep his teammates safe with that plus armor and himself safe.
Oh, this is the ass assault cuirass.
Yeah, the chastity belt.
I like that. The graphic looks actually decent as well. That's good effort all around. So thank you very much, whoever paid for a bit of ass. We've got it here. Let's see, Stunners still looking for the action. He's going to find the catch here onto Jerry Wagger. Yule's set up. Is there any way they can save him? Ake is standing by his side, but the combo comes in. He's falling low. Grave is there. Ake trying to do his best to get him out. He'll go for a TP attempt, but they have another Yule's ready in play to hold him back. Jerry will fall. The rest of Alliance Force back onto their high ground. Beastmaster, Bulldog going desperately for these split push plays, but Wagger is quick to counter. He's in with the double chakra. Bambo's there by his side as Bulldog's push is put quickly to an end.
The mousetrap catches Bulldog, and now, does he have buyback? Indeed he does. No Necro for a bit, though. Sadim, they already know. We're not looking to get into Roshan. We're just trying to push Ags up on Wagga, so his damage output has doubled effectively. Can do so much to these strength heroes.
You're going to see the combo come down onto Sin. Loader heads in with the Ray Fire Blast. Can't get on top of him, though. Wagga, between the two of them, proving to be very hard to go past and ignore at this point. As you mentioned, with that focus on damage with his item build, Aghanims. As he knows already, he's very hard to kill. The only thing that was causing issues from earlier being that Spirit Vessel, but he has the means to deal with it. The trap onto the creeps. BKB's going to be popped. They'll move in there. Are able to finish him off. This time they do get the chain stun. As soon as I said that he's hard to kill, they pull it off. Wagger is dead.
He didn't have stacks up, I don't think, when they started to initiate, but also the magic burst is quite substantial. They didn't even have Bodak. I don't know how he died.
That's a huge kill. No Wagger, and that is no sort of frontline force for Sadim Stunners to keep the pressure on around. So they'll back off for 90 seconds and leaves that area of the map a bit more open for the Cause of Alliance to step out and try and get those next few items online. Bulldog very close to finishing off his Solar Crest.
He respawned and immediately just teleported top. He wants to keep pushing this lane, stall out this game, get to a point where the Wraith King is by far ahead. And as you can see, you can already kill Timbersaw now, but give it another item or two for this Radiant team, and all of a sudden, Wagga becomes a liability. There's no save behind him. Maybe what about an Ags on Gork at some point? I feel like that'd be huge here if he went for more of that support style play around lines a bit more, perhaps.
When you have a hero like the Timber on your team, giving that hero effectively a second life. When you're playing like this as well, with Wagga just sort of pushing in, tanking the towers, and just hitting the tower. Sure, it's a slow siege, but it's a pretty reliable one. We'll see what Gorg does decide. The team needs. They look for the drag back. Yule's play from Bambo will allow him to get the blink out and dodge the combo. Time has been bought for Wagga to respawn. He's back in the game. The push from Alliance is going to have to be put to a stop. They're backing off. The double chakrams are out. Straight away, Wagga is on top of Loader. Looking to get close to the easier kills, but already strength has been built up on Jerry's Undying. They turn, the vessel's out. Wagger's stuck on the front, he's getting beat down low. Get the Yules up, but he's so low on the Timbersaw. Surely he'll fall. He looked for the Timber Chain out, but they get him. Jerry's able to finish him off. Wagga is dead as soon as he gets back into the game. dead once more for 90 seconds.
He's not got stacks when he goes in, Owen. Like, you can't do that against all this physical damage pressure. Bulldog now finally in the fight. He did shove bottom in, and Loda might... Oh, nope. Heals him up.
Nice, fine. He's got the heal. A soul rip as well from Jerry, backing him up. Gorg trying to have a look in. They do have fair amount of ways to proc that Lincoln's, making it almost impossible for Gorg to go straight in on his own. He needs Swagger alive so they can throw some sort of diversion in on the front of it, allowing Gorg to go to work on the back lines. There's the buyback. It's going to come out from Wagger. Sadims Stunners looking to strike back hard. They're looking to chase down Loda. 30 seconds, no reincarnate. The X-Mark holds back Bambo. Avalanche does clip Loda, but he's able to step to the side. They can't catch the Wraith King. With that buyback in play, they won't quite do it. Sind finding Bulldog on the side. He needs extra backup to come in. Gorg's looking towards it, but won't go for it. He needs to help the rest of his team as Wagger's chasing the bigger kills. They've got the Yules set up onto Jerry. They've got at least the easier kills as Undying will be left in the river. EGM does fall. The rest of Alliance able to make it out. And only losing EGM off the back of a Timbersaw buyback from Wagger, Alliance will certainly take that.
The runes, Owen. The runes. They got 3 once again. And this is a bit of an opening now with no Undying, but this dire lineup not confident enough to try Roshan. Wagga forced to buyback, suddenly second in net worth on his team. He's just not tanky enough, it feels, anymore. He has no armor item other than that Lotus. Ags is nice for the damage as well as the Yules, but he has no real survivability item, you know? Even maybe something like a Holy Locket. I don't know. At this point, Alliance are in a pretty commanding position. Lotus 6K ahead of the game.
Yeah, he's been playing it smart. He's been focused on the farm and now getting involved where they've realized that they can kill the Timber. Loda has been getting everything out of this. Nearly 25, nearly onto his next item. He's ready to get rid of that Midas pretty much. See what he does decide to pick up. And it will be the Basher. So with the AC, he's got a good amount of attack speed to work with. There's a lot to be done.
Bloodstone on the techies? What's that for?
I mean, he keeps him out on the map, right? He's going to have the mana to just constantly put out mines and not have to worry about resetting.
That's true. That's exactly what Sing Sing's looking to do here.
As now he can just fully focus on staying out, making sure that the entirety of the map will have mines successfully scattered around it. Alliance still continuing to be very sort of focused on just keeping it in the same area, sticking towards playing directly down the mid lane where they have the ward coverage, not going out into the jungle, not going out anywhere else really, to make it unlikely that these sort of hidden stacks from Sing are going to catch them out. So looking for that high ground push. Good time to do so. Wagger's buyback still on cooldown.
Oh my god.
They push hard and fast with that AC. They take that tier 3. Bow combo is down with the BKB's pop. They get Wagger. That's a dead Timbersaw for 2 minutes. Alliance, they're not going to stop. The Wreck's in trouble. They'll take this mid lane. I mean, 2 minutes without the Timber, sort of this force that for the first 20 minutes of this game was exactly what Stunners were relying on to get them the edge. He's fallen entirely off, and he doesn't seem to be a threat at all at this point.
Well, look at the Midas. Gork in a lot of trouble.
A drag back into the combo. Raw set up 2. They're on top. Gorg, can he buy the time to pop the time-lapse? He will. Does manage to get the time-lapse out. Gorg will survive, and now they can look for the turnaround. They focus down Loda. Loda, he is big, he's strong. He still has to reincarnate. This is not an easy target for them to tackle. They're having to hold 4 versus 5, the Stunners. Alliance still incredibly strong. They do not have the tier 2s on the side lane, so the only thing Alliance can look for here, objective-wise, is the tier 4 towers and the game. And that's certainly what they're going to look to stick around for. They're not heading back. They know how hard it is for the Stunners to push them out of the base right now. As the first tier 4 tower down, stun combo onto Sind, drags him in. Sind has buyback. 50 seconds still before Wagger's it. As the second tier 4's falling, what can the Stunners achieve? Bambo's out in the torrent, slam down as Loda beats him apart alongside Jesse. No buyback for Bambo. The second tier 4's down. They've only got the last 3 of them trying to hold them off, but Loda focusing the objective, heading onto the Ancient. Jump forward from Sing will not be enough. The GG is going to come out as there we have Alliance taking game 2, and with that, the full series 2-0, beating the Sadims stunners, Kyle.
And some flame. That was an offensive GG. Jerry telling the enemy side, don't, fans at home, don't tune into Gork. If you want to tune into a TI winners stream, Bulldog is, of course, online. In fact, I imagine he'll be going live right after this game to start stealing Midas Mode viewers.
And to celebrate.